Hello, and welcome to Drag Race Stats. So, I made this channel to make statistic videos about RuPaul's Drag Race, to see how each queen of each season did. We're looking at winners, bottom twos, Snatch Game winners, trade of the season, and who should really have won based on statistics. And I'm only looking at seasons where RuPaul is the judge and host. And this time we're looking at UK 5. I would say this season is quite good. I really liked it, to be honest. They had some really strong queens here. They have a lot of different winners, which was really nice. But also the crazy thing is they were not afraid to send home the winners. But I do think it was fair for the most time. I think there was one queen who was unfairly eliminated, but we'll get to that. And they finally stopped doing that where every single queen in the girl group wins the challenge, because we just got from UK 4 where 6 of them got it. But there were still a lot of different queens who had wins. It was just not because of that fact. It was just because they were so good at different things here. There was one challenge where 3 queens won. But I think it was more fair because they worked together in that one. But they still did what they always do, where they had 2 queens who were the front runner of the season. And this time it was Ginger Johnson and Michael Maruli, with 3 wins each. And there was actually an 11th queen on this season, but because of some sexual misconduct, I think there was, she was completely cut out of the season. It's quite crazy they could just do that, not just do it like what they did with Sherry Pie. But if you do look closely, you can sometimes see an extra limb that doesn't belong to anyone. But that's probably why no one went home in the girl group episode. And as always, I tried to guess the top 3, and my guesses were Caramel, Vickivious, and Tomara Thomas. When doing this, I watched the first episode because no one went home there. There was a top 2, of course, between the 2 queens I guessed, which were Caramel and Vicky. I did think Caramel was gonna win this season. I thought they would finally go with some diversity in the winners. They have all been, you know, the same kind of white cis people. So yeah. And Vicky I thought was gonna be in the top because I didn't think her win was very fair. I would have given it to Michael instead. So I thought they were gonna push her farther into the competition than the other queens. And Tomara I could just see that they really liked, and she was like this firecracker, and I thought she was gonna be like the lip sync assassin of the season, but she actually only lip synced once, so. And before I get started, I just want to talk about the first episode, because like I said, no one went home here. So what they did were that half of the queens were safe, and the other half were actually placed as high. And then there was a top 2 between Caramel and Vicky, and then Vicky won. I thought there were some weird choices here. I didn't get why Alexis was high, why Ginger was high, and Michael was not in the top 2 instead of Vicky, like I said. And also, Caramel lost the lip sync, mostly because she couldn't move in her dress, because otherwise she would definitely have won it. And now let's get started with the queens. Alexis St Pete. As the first queen out, she never won any badges and was only in the bottom 2 once. She was eliminated in episode 2 by Miss Naomi Carter. I believe she is the first Polish queen. At least as a Ru girl, I don't know about the rest of the franchise. And just like in UK 4, I had a feeling when I saw her that she was the first one to go home. Which is why I thought it was so weird that she was placed high in the first episode. But it is also very sad that she was eliminated in the design challenge, when Miss Naomi Carter had probably the worst design challenge look I've ever seen. You know, sometimes it shouldn't come down to a lip sync. Miss Naomi Carter. She never won any badges and was in the bottom 2 twice. She was eliminated in episode 4 by Caramel. So yeah, in episode 3 and the girl groups, no one went home here either. And was another top 2 for the win, and it was again Caramel, but this time with Tomara, and Caramel finally won. But yeah, as I said in the beginning, there was one queen who was unfairly put in the bottom. And I believe this was her, because there was no way she should have been in the bottom for this challenge. Like, they literally had the worst team all be in the bottom, but then they put her as the bottom 2 to save the others. That's just bullshit. But no, it really sucks with this elimination, because I do think this episode is like one of my favorites. It is so hilarious. It is British drag humor at its best. Like, it is just brilliant. The Geordie girls were so fucking funny, and I do think that Dee Dee and Kate was also hilarious. And Banksy also had some great moments. It was the 3 others who bombed completely. But I do think that either Banksy or Vicky should have been in the bottom, or Miss Naomi Carter, because it was a team challenge. And a team won together. And again, a team is not lip syncing against each other, just like in the previous season. It's bullshit, like, come on. Banksy. They won 1 badge and was in the bottom 2 once. And they were eliminated in episode 5 by Delicious. And this is where the season gets crazy, because now they start sending winners home, because they don't have any choice here. It's crazy, because so many of them are just such a strong cast, like you really don't know who's gonna go home. Because I feel like after they sacrificed Miss Naomi Carter, that they didn't really want to get rid of the others. I think maybe Dee and Kate could have been someone going home before the others, but they also wanted to keep them, I could see. So it was crazy that this started happening, because Bangy had some really great looks, and they also did good in some of the challenges, I would say. The Rusical was a very strong one. Again, the UK musicals are just insane, like they're so good. So yeah, it's always so hard to judge these. But I do think that both Dee and Bangy were lacking a little momentum, I guess. I think that Tomara and Caramel could also have been in the bottom, but yeah, it didn't really matter between the four of them, I guess. Maybe it came down to the runways, I don't know. Vickivious. She also won one batch and was also only in the bottom 2 once. And she was also sent home by Delicious in episode 6. She was eliminated in Snatch Game, which was crazy because I definitely expected her to do way better. And she also had probably the best runway, actually one of the best runways I've ever seen. That hot look was amazing, like it was insane. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they saw her as a contender and doing way better than she actually did. But then again, this cast was just so strong and there were so many funny queens. Maybe they underestimated the other queens. I will say she did come off as a bit of rude, especially towards Delicious. So it was fitting that she sent her home. Caramel. She also won one batch and was in the bottom 2 twice. She was eliminated in episode 7 by Michael. She's actually American, and I think this was the most shocking elimination, because I did not expect her to go home at this point at all. I was for sure she was gonna be in the finale. I was still thinking she might win. So it was crazy that she went home here, especially going up against Michael. I was like, oh, is Michael going home? That would be a gag. But nope, there was Caramel. That was insane. I could not believe it. It's also crazy that Caramel lip-synced 4 out of 7 episodes. You know, 2 in the top and 2 in the bottom. And I'm glad that she won the girl group alone instead of all 5 of them. I do think her elimination was very fair, and it seemed like even the judges were surprised. They probably thought that Dee and Tomara would be in the bottom. I think everyone did. But as we had seen, Caramel did struggle with humor a little bit. I think her Snatch Game was good enough. The disaster class and then this challenge, that was just not good. Kate Bush. She also won one batch and was only in the bottom 2 once. She was eliminated in episode 8, also by Delicious. I absolutely loved Kate. I loved her humor. I thought she was hilarious. And we don't have to talk about her runways. But I do think she could have won both the Snatch Game and the Rusical, to be honest. Because it's not like bad runways haven't given the queen a win before. But I guess in this season, when everyone does so good, that the runways will count. It was very nice that she just managed to win a challenge before going home. Even though I will say I would have given that win to Ginger and then given her the 2 other wins, like I said. That was actually her best runway, and it was so funny when she was just lying dead on the stage for so long. But yeah, if she comes back with more money and, you know, way better looks, then I'm sure she will absolutely devour an all-star season, just like Tia Coffee did. And I just quickly want to talk about her Snatch Game as Kate Bush. I know that Alan said she just relied on the voice and wasn't funny at all. I don't think that's true at all. If you actually see it back, she has so many jokes. And even the things she says with the judge, Alexandra Berg, which RuPaul clearly didn't get. Mimi-licious. Oh, sorry. Delusional. No. Delicious. She never won any badges and was in the bottom 2 4 times. And she was eliminated in episode 9 by Tomara. This makes her the 3rd queen to be in the bottom 2 4 times in the UK. That's just crazy. She is, I think, the drag sister of Crystal Versace, the winner of UK 3, and actually made most of her looks, which you can kind of see because they do look quite similar in their looks and also their makeup, I would say. But I definitely did not expect her to be the lip sync assassin. That really surprised me. And I wasn't sure how far she was gonna make it because of her connection with Crystal. But yeah, she surprised me in that acting challenge where she was teamed up with Tomara when Caramel went home. Because I definitely thought she was going home here. Especially because she had just lip synced twice in a row. And then she won another one against Kate. But I mean, yeah, that was kinda expected. But then Tomara could finally take her out of our misery. It's also funny that Dee sent home 3 winners, despite never winning anything herself. Tomara Thomas. She won one badge with the Geordie girls and was in the bottom 2 once. She made it all the way to the finale, but was eliminated for 3rd place. She was actually flatmates with Caramel. It's funny how many times they cast people who know each other, especially on the UK seasons of course. But like flatmates, that's a new one. Well, I guess Ahura and Taze were also that. And I think Lawrence Chaney and Ellie Diamond from UK2 also had lived together at some point. I mean, it's of course to give them some dynamic together and maybe some fights. And Caramel and Tomara did have a fight, but yeah, it was just a small one. It didn't really lead anywhere. And of course they also had that top 2 lip sync, which was really good. They're both so great performers. I don't really know what I think about her Snatch Game performance as Robin Williams. It was unhinged, but it was funny, and I guess that's what Snatch Game is supposed to be. Sorta like Eliza Edwards as Joan Crawford. And Tomara is also Trade of the Season. To be honest, this one was a little bit hard to choose, but Tomara is, I guess, the only choice here. Michael Maruli. She won 3 badges and was only in the bottom 2 once. She made it all the way to the finale and placed runner-up. Michael was my choice to win at the end, even though she had the lesser track record. I just vibed more with her, I guess. I also think she was being shown way more. And she beat Caramel in a lip sync. I mean, come on. She had 3 wins, and I sort of agree with all of them. I think she shouldn't have won the makeover. I would have given that to Ginger instead. And then she should have won the first challenge instead. So then she would still have had 3 badges. And she was friends with Vicky going into the competition. So here we had another pairing. I don't really think anything happened with that in the season though. I know she's a huge cabaret star from outside the show, and that really shows, because she is a natural born performer. She never really seemed to hesitate or was afraid of anything, but I do think her Snatch Game could have been a little stronger, but everything else she did was just amazing. And another great hard look here. Ginger Johnson. She also won 3 badges, but was never in the bottom 2. She made it all the way to the finale and is the winner of this season. I do agree with her getting 3 wins, but I would probably have given her some other ones. I would have given her the acting challenge win that Kate got, and then the makeover that Michael got. And then she would keep the one that she got with the 2 others in the disaster class one. So she would still have 3 wins. When I saw her in the first episode, I thought she was going home first, or at least like an early out, because she was not giving a winner edit either, just like Nymphia Wind. It's weird when they do this, but maybe it's also sort of like a surprise attack. I don't get it, because she was very, very funny, like both in the challenges and in the confessional, so I don't understand why she wasn't giving more screen time. And also she just seemed like an early out from the first runway outfit, I would say, even though she made it herself. I just didn't really like it. And I know that she made all of her outfits except for 1 or 2, I think she said, which was crazy. She had some really good ones. She's an amazing seamstress and designer, that's for sure, and also performer. So it made sense that she won. I was just hoping Michael would win instead. But yeah, it's been like this for every season of UK for me, so whatever. But at least he had the better track record this time, so that's good. But yeah, Ginger Johnson won UK Season 5 and another show produced by WoW. Luckily this is the last time that this happens. But now that we have seen the stats, who should really have won? Ginger Johnson was the true winner of this season for having 3 wins and no bottom placement, where Michael also had 3 wins but was in the bottom 2 once. So congratulations to Ginger Johnson for winning UK 5. Alright, now let's see how I did. So this time I only guessed 1, but at least she got 3rd place. But like I said, I really do think Caramel could have won. And maybe she should have, for some diversity reason. And with Vicky, I thought they were gonna push her all the way, and I'm glad that they didn't, to be honest. But Tomara I got spot on. Not for the right reasons though. I thought she would be lip syncing her way to the top, but instead it was Dee Dee, but not all the way. But all in all, I thought this was a very, very good season. Such a strong cast. Lots of different winners. That is just very nice to see. But it's also very sad when they have to go home. And I felt like they didn't want to send any of them home. And also funny thing, this is the first UK season where all the queens are from England. Usually there were some from Scotland and Northern Ireland and Wales, but not in this one. But yeah, that was it for this video. And next time we will be looking at UK 6. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. Also check out my other channel where I make gaming and Pokemon Go content. See you next time. Bye bye.